After 65, one quiet question begins to echo louder in many hearts. Where should I live to truly feel at peace, loved, and independent? If you're over 60 or care for someone who is, this video will gently guide you through the 5 best living arrangements that nurture happiness in our golden years. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more heartfelt content. Like this video if it resonates with you, and share it so others can benefit from these important insights. Now, let's begin the journey of finding where happiness truly lives after 65. After 65, the world slows down in ways that are both comforting and unfamiliar. The morning coffee feels warmer. The air seems quieter. Yet in that silence, there is often a lingering question. A question many seniors quietly ponder, but rarely speak out loud. Where should I live now, and who should I live with? This question isn't simply about physical space. It's about comfort, safety, dignity, and the deeply human need for connection. It's about not feeling like a burden and not being alone. It's about laughter in the afternoon, a familiar hand to hold during uncertain nights, and the soft reassurance that life, even in its later chapters, still holds meaning. For some, this decision arrives with urgency after retirement or the loss of a spouse. For others, it creeps in gently as the stairs become steeper and the house too quiet. But regardless of how it shows up, the question is the same. What kind of living arrangement will help me stay not just alive, but truly happy? As we journey through the 5 most meaningful and research-supported living arrangements for people over 65, this is not a list. It is a story of options, of wisdom, and of gentle encouragement to reimagine this chapter of life with clarity and grace. Let us begin where many do, at home, living alone. The quiet strength of solitude. There is a quiet pride that often comes with aging in place. The chair by the window, the kettle on the stove, the photos of grandchildren tucked in frames that have not moved in years. For many, staying in one's own home symbolizes independence, memory, and continuity. According to the US Census Bureau, nearly 30% of people over 65 live alone. And for many of them, it works beautifully, especially when the home is safe, familiar, and adapted to their physical needs. Living alone allows seniors to wake when they choose, eat what they love, and rest in the comfort of their own routines. But living alone isn't for everyone. There are quiet risks that come with it. Falls without help nearby, loneliness that lingers into depression, and the lack of daily stimulation that can dull both mind and spirit. However, with careful planning, assistive technology, and a strong support system, many seniors thrive on their own. For those who choose this path, success often depends on connection. Friends who check in regularly, children who call, community centers that feel like second homes. Solitude, after all, doesn't have to mean isolation. It can be a sanctuary when coupled with purpose and love. Living with family, the comfort and complexity of generations. There is something deeply comforting about living under the same roof as your children or grandchildren. The morning chatter of a child, the shared meals, the subtle feeling of being part of the pulse of a younger world. These things can add color and life to the days of aging. In many cultures, multi-generational living is a tradition rooted in respect and familial duty. Elders help care for grandchildren and in turn are supported and surrounded by love. A study from Pew Research indicates that multi-generational households are on the rise in many Western countries too, especially as the cost of living increases and families seek closeness. However, this arrangement is not without its complexities. Seniors may struggle with the loss of privacy or independence. Family dynamics, especially when boundaries are unclear, can create tension. There can also be an internal worry about being in the way or too much. That said, when approached with mutual respect and open communication, living with family can be deeply fulfilling. The key lies in intentional conversations, setting expectations, dividing responsibilities, and ensuring that the senior still has personal space and autonomy. If you are considering living with your children, ask yourself, will this bring me joy? Will it support my emotional and physical well-being? And most importantly, does my presence here feel like a gift to them, not a burden? Senior co-housing, the rise of the Golden Girls era. Imagine a home filled with laughter, shared meals, spontaneous conversations, and companionship. Now imagine that every person in that home is roughly your age, understands your references, and perhaps even shares your love of 1960s jazz or gardening. That is the heart of senior co-housing, an intentional living community where older adults share a space and build lives together, not out of necessity, but choice. These communities are growing across the world. Often, they are made up of small, private living spaces with shared common areas, like kitchens, gardens, or libraries. Residents maintain their independence while also enjoying built-in companionship. Many studies have shown that such arrangements reduce loneliness, improve mental health, and even lower healthcare costs over time. In fact, in Denmark and Sweden, co-housing is so popular that people often put their names down years in advance. The beauty of this setup lies in shared understanding. Everyone has walked a similar path. Everyone knows what it means to lose, to adapt, to grow older with grace. In such a space, friendships often bloom naturally, and not from blood or obligation, but from shared life rhythms. If you've ever joked about living with your best friend when you're old, maybe it's time to turn that into a plan. Happiness, after all, often blooms in connection. Assisted, living communities, independence, with a safety net for seniors who want to maintain a high level of independence but need a bit more support, whether with medication, mobility, or meals. Assisted living communities offer a valuable middle ground. These residences are not nursing homes. Rather, they are vibrant hubs where residents live in private or semi-private apartments, have access to medical help if needed, and enjoy activities ranging from yoga classes to music nights. Staff are on hand to help with the small tasks that can become difficult: bathing, dressing, taking medications on time, while encouraging residents to remain as self-sufficient as possible. Studies from the National Institute on Aging show that seniors in such environments often enjoy better mental and physical health outcomes compared to those living completely alone. This is largely due to regular social interaction, mental stimulation, and access to healthcare. More importantly, these communities offer peace of mind to the senior and to their loved ones. There's a knowing that someone is always nearby should a need arise. However, choosing the right assisted living facility takes time. Not all are created equal. It's important to visit, Ask questions, speak with current residents, and trust your instincts. The right place will feel not just safe, but warm. Aging with a companion or roommate, rediscovering belonging. Sometimes happiness comes in unexpected forms. After 65, many people lose a spouse or partner and assume that the next chapter will be one of solitude. But life has a way of surprising us. Some seniors find joy in sharing their home with a friend, a companion, or even a carefully chosen roommate. This arrangement is growing in popularity, especially among women. It might be a long-time friend, a fellow widow, or someone met through a senior roommate matching service. There are emotional and practical benefits here. Bills are shared, meals can be enjoyed together. Even simple moments, watching a film, sipping tea, become warmer when shared. The presence of another person, especially one who understands the pacing of life after 65, can be deeply grounding. It may not be romantic, and that's often for the best, but it is intimate in the most human way. It is belonging. One heartwarming story comes from two widowed women in Oregon who decided in their 70s to live together. They had tea every afternoon, tended their shared garden, and said that for the first time in years, they looked forward to mornings. As one of them said, "I didn't think I could feel new again at 74. Sometimes the right person to live with isn't a family member or a spouse. It's someone who walks beside you on this journey, shoulder to shoulder. What matters most? Emotional anchors and gentle decisions. As you reflect on where and with whom to live, consider not just the walls and windows of the place, but how it makes you feel. Does it offer peace or stress? Does it allow you to breathe deeply and sleep soundly? Does it nourish the parts of you that still want to grow, explore, connect? Happiness after 65 is not an accident. It is a series of small, deliberate choices. And your living arrangement is among the most impactful of them. You are not too old to start anew. You are not too late to find comfort. You are not a burden to anyone. You are a chapter still being written, and you deserve to be surrounded by a space and by people that honor your life, your wisdom, your gentle heart. Whatever choice you make, whether to live alone, with family, in a vibrant community, or with a dear friend, make it from a place of self-respect and hope. And remember, happiness isn't found in the number of people you live with. It's found in how seen, valued, and loved you feel in your everyday moments. As one wise elder once said, after 65, we no longer need to build empires. We only need to build peace. So go gently, but go boldly. Choose the space where peace lives. That is where your happiness will thrive.